Learn how to take advantage of the spring. Spring is called opportunity. And spring follows winter. What a great place for it. If you were going to put it somewhere, that'd be the place to put it, right after winter. And pray tell, how often does spring follow winter? Every year with regularity, 6,000. You can almost count on it.
What's going on YouTube? James Prigioni coming to you live from Jersey, back at it again. It's February 14th today, and it's a beautiful day. Days like this, when it feels like spring in the middle of winter, I try to take full advantage of, and I encourage you guys to do the same. I wanted to bring you guys along as we get some work done, do some things now that are going to lead us to harvest in the future. Let's go. The first thing I want to do is prune some of the apple trees that I have. I recently just made a video about how to prune an apple tree, and in that video I pruned about 1 or 2 of my trees. I still have several other ones that I need to prune, and I have to prune the Prigioni apple. You know that one, the one I grew from seed. So I'm going to show you how I prune that, and before I do that though, I got to show you something on the ground, just everywhere. Like walking through here, I can just see the soil, some of it's peeking through the wood chips, and it's amazing. I got to share with you guys what soil looks like when you just layer it with wood chips and the no-till method, and you let nature go to work and do what it does best. There's still a number of things I need to do in the food forest, but I just love coming out here and working and do it. It's my passion, and it's just so enjoyable to me. So here's some fall-bearing raspberries. I need to cut these flush to the ground, and I need to make sure I do that before they have any new growth coming out. We don't want that. What I really wanted to show you was some of the soil though. It's just ridiculous. I really saw it poking out over here under the grapes. We got Tuck working, just hanging out in here. He's loving the nice weather in the food forest, just like me. He's a good guy. So let me show you the soil. Look at it over here. And the size of the grape now. This is one of the first things we planted in the food forest, but look at this soil. No work or anything. I didn't do anything for this. This is just years of putting the right stuff down, of a thick organic matter mulch. It's broken down so much over the years. But I need to come through and add another layer. Should have done it in the winter, but I was adding the new food forest in. So let's get to pruning some of these apple trees.
See, opportunity always comes. Days follow nights. Isn't that terrific? Opportunity follows difficulty. But here's what you must learn to do. Underline these 2 words in that key phrase. Take advantage. Underline those 2. You must learn to take advantage of the spring. See, just because spring rolls around is no sign you're going to look good come fall. You gotta do something with it. After pruning this tree a little bit, stepping back, it looks like I really need to take off this one big side branch here. It's just going to get in the way in the future. So I don't even see that much fruit on it or anything, so I think I'm just going to take it off, and we'll really open up the tree, give it a lot better structure, and it'll be a real nice investment for the future, I think. So I'm going to do that. So I think the tree looks just so much better like that. It really was so necessary. That'll give it a lot better structure. Still have a little more pruning things to clean up on the inside, but you can see on the cut down here what I just cut off. You can see I put it on an angle there, so it will shed water, and I think it'll be okay. It'll heal up nicely. It'll fatten up, give it a nice fat trunk. We opened up the space between the trees a lot. I'll still have to do it a little more probably, because they just happen to grow next to each other. I had this apple tree in here to the right, and then this one came up from seed. So I just like to keep this one small. I can always graft this variety onto something else if I have to in the future. I finished pruning most of the apple trees. I couldn't show all of it. Now I'm going to cut down some of the asparagus that I have. I've got a lot of asparagus planted in here. That's something that I encourage you guys to plant. It's awesome. Comes early in the spring, tastes so good, and ones that you go fresh in your backyard, I don't even cook them. They taste that good just raw. Here's one that I've got planted underneath the peach tree, like I talked about in the previous video. Let me show you it, and I'll cut them down. So here we've got the asparagus underneath the peach tree. This one produced a lot of fruit for us last year. I'm expecting big things again. But these I'm going to cut down right to the ground level.
Don't wish for less problems. Wish for more skills. Don't wish for less challenge. Wish for more wisdom. That's the key.
While we're pruning things at ground level, I figured let's prune some of the raspberries down, the fall bearing ones. So I'll show you guys how I do that now. Talk a little bit about raspberries, give you some information, some things that'll help you when maybe ordering your own raspberries or getting your own garden started. Right here I've got some fall bearing raspberries. So these ones bear fruit in the fall, but if I keep them tall like this, they'll also bear fruit in the spring. They're ever-bearing. So I can choose to either have an ever-bearing crop, one in the spring and one in the fall, or just one big crop in the fall. I choose the big crop in the fall because it's sweeter and better. If you only had one small area, I think these would be best. But if you've got enough space like me, it's best to grow some raspberries that fruit in the spring, in the summer, and in the fall. 3 different varieties, 3 different kinds.
One of the best ways to describe life, it's like the seasons. Frank Sinatra sings, life is like the seasons. Now here's the second phrase. Very important. You cannot change the seasons, but you can change yourself. You can't change the seasons, but you can change yourself. And see, that's how life gets better for you, not by chance, but by change.
Now it's everybody's favorite time to grab some wood chips. There's sections in the new food forest that still are uncovered. I know it's late, but it's better than never. Kind of like the fruit trees and the meme we had in the last video. They said the best time to plant a fruit tree is 20 years ago. Besides that, the best time is now. So now's the time to get your trees in. Get your trees ordered, get your seeds ordered. Take the step to your own food freedom. On a beautiful day, getting a lot of work done, we can't forget to have some fun. Come on, Tucky. Come on, boy. Can't forget to enjoy ourselves. This guy is the most loyal dog I've ever met. So loyal. I could try to make him bite me, never would. He's on fire today. It's been hasn't been nice out recently, so he hasn't really had an opportunity to run around. He's ready to go. Spring loaded. He's done with that. I'll tell you what, this wood chip pile used to be a lot bigger. Nothing now. One wheelbarrow at a time. Good exercise. I find it to be fun. Look at all those needles and leaves. That's what you want right there. The good stuff, the needles, the leaves. Oh man. Let's get this stuff on the ground. Now that's mulch. What's the deal? Did you get your wood chips in yet? I'm gonna ask you honestly. Did you put them in? If you got them delivered, did you get them down? If you didn't get them delivered, have you done everything you possibly could? Did you call every tree company locally and tell them you'll give them a tip or something to come bring the chips to you? Do what you have to. This stuff's worth it. I wouldn't be making these videos and everything if it wasn't.
The last 6,000 years reads like this: opportunity mixed with difficulty. That's how it reads. It isn't going to change. The man says, well, if it isn't going to change, how will my life ever change? Answer, when you change. And whether I'm talking to high school kids or business executives, my message is always the same. And it goes like this: the only way it gets better for you is when you get better.
I just previously called you guys out, if something inside of you stirred you and said, I think he might be talking about me, then I was. You're exactly who I was talking about. And I just want to let you guys know, for some things, you're never going to want to do it. You just have to get out there, take one step at a time, and then once you start doing it, you'll start enjoying it even more than you thought than you would. And a lot of times, deciding is harder than actually doing what you need to do. So I just want to encourage you again, get out there, get some of this stuff done, and you'll have a blast doing it. Because the more you do it, the better you're going to get at it. And when you're good at something, it becomes more enjoyable. Jim Rohn has a quote, or maybe not a quote, he defines discipline, and I love what he says. He says, discipline is the ability to make yourself do the necessary things. So I love that so much. So what can you do right now that's necessary? Make yourself do it. That's today's video. Thanks for watching and coming along as we did some work in the 6-year-old food forest. We put some investments in the new food forest. Because these are the things, like I always say, that need to be done if you want that abundant harvest come spring, come summer. And these are the days you need to take advantage of. So I hope you guys are inspired by watching this to get out there, get some work done, even if it's a little chilly. You'll get warm when you go inside. See you in the next one.